Hello everyone. The two references that I'll be using for this video discussing board violations are the ACA Code of Ethics 2014 and the North Carolina Board of Licensed Mental Health Counselors 2021. We were first asked what were the most common reasons for discipline within our state and what was our reaction. So the most common violations within my state was the section of 8.1b, which is records and documentation. My reaction to this was I didn't think that there would be that would be the most common violation because I thought documentation would be one of the easier things that you would have to do within the practice, since it's such a complex profession and there's so many things you have to deal with at all times. But then we were also asked what were the common themes, and I just took this question as what were some other common violations, and these violations included documentation violations, as I mentioned before, respect for confidentiality, and maintaining records and documentation. And we were also asked to present a case that was within the disciplinary page of our state, and I picked case 1804 of North Carolina. And the counselor had engaged in sexual activity with a client, and by doing this, the counselor has violated sections 8.1a, 8.4a, 8.5a, C.2g, C.6d, and NC General Statutes 90 through 340, A7, A9, A10, as well as A13. In English, this would be documented as a violation to primary responsibility, avoiding harm, prohibition of sexual and romantic relationships, impairment, and exploitation of others. The actions that the board took against this counselor were the counselor had their license revoked, and they were able to reapply after a year, but there was conditions to them being able to reapply, which they must have. So they had to do a mental assessment that had to be approved by the board to prove that they were no longer impaired, and the counselor must also take continuing education courses in psychopathology, and the specific name of this program was the certification program in psychotherapy. And what the ACA Code of Ethics says about impairment is that counselors must be mindful of their own impairment or of their other colleagues that may be at risk for being impaired or becoming impaired. And my state, forgot one thing. They must also refrain from practicing while impaired because this could cause harm to clients. And my state specifically just refers to the ACA Code of Ethics when discussing impairment. So I would just have to repeat what I just said, that the ACA Code of Ethics says about impairment. And the final thing was, with all of this in mind, did this raise any questions for us? And my question would be, as an inspiring counselor, what can I do to avoid being put on this violation list and being as effective as possible when working with clients? That concludes my video. Are there any questions?